A Bitcoin whale that has been sleeping for 14 years just woke up and transferred $2.3 billion worth of Bitcoin. And guess what happened next? Bitcoin crashed from $123,000 to $117,000 in less than 24 hours. Hello guys, it's your one and only candlestick preacher, guiding you through the ups and downs of finance, one candle at a time. Today, July 15, Bitcoin experienced a dramatic drop from its recent high of $123,000 down to around $117,000. But here's the thing, this wasn't just random market volatility. This was triggered by something that hasn't happened in over a decade. A whale that has been dormant since 2011. That's right, since the early days of Bitcoin, just moved $2.3 billion worth of Bitcoin, and I've got all the details for you. Let me paint you the picture. On July 15, 2025, between the hours of July 14th and July 15th, something extraordinary happened. A Bitcoin wallet that had been active for over 14 years suddenly came back to life. Let's call this the Lazarus resurrection. This whale transferred approximately 20,000 Bitcoin, that's worth over $2.3 billion at current prices, directly to a platform called Galaxy Digital. And here's what makes this absolutely insane. This was done in 7 separate transactions ranging from 500 Bitcoin to 4,500 Bitcoin each. Now you might be thinking, okay, so someone moves some Bitcoin, what's the big deal? Well, let me tell you why. This is huge. First, this wallet is what we call a Satoshi era whale. This means it's been holding Bitcoin since the very early days. We're talking 2011 here. And for context, Bitcoin was trading for a few dollars back then compared to the price of now. This whale has been sitting on this massive fortune for over a decade without touching it. Secondly, according to on-chain analytics platforms like Nansen and On-Chain Lens, this was the whale's first ever cash out. Think about that. 14 years of holding, and now they are finally making their move. The crypto community went absolutely wild when this happened. Social media was buzzing with posts like this one from HB News. The Bitcoin whale dormant for 14.3 years transferred approximately 8,500 Bitcoin to Galaxy Digital, potentially for an OTC sale. But here's where it gets more interesting. The dominant effects of this is this 20,000 Bitcoin transfer is just part of a much larger movement. According to tracking data, 40,000 Bitcoin out of the original 80,000 Bitcoin from this dormant wallet has now been moved. And get this, some of these funds didn't just go to Galaxy Digital. They were then moved to major exchanges like Bybit and Binance. And when Bitcoin hits exchanges, what usually happens? That's right, sell pressure. The timing here is absolutely crucial. Bitcoin had just reached an all-time high of 123,000 on July 14th. The market was euphoric, the greed and fear level index was sitting at 70, indicating extreme greed. But then this whale activity happened and boom, Bitcoin dropped to around 117,000. That's almost a 4.88% decline, which might not sound like much, but when you're talking about a $2.3 billion transfer, that creates serious waves. This wasn't just Bitcoin either. The entire cryptocurrency market capitalization dropped by 6.7%, which is $3.7 trillion. 95% of the top 100 coins were in the red. Trading volume nearly doubled to $217 billion, showing that just how much panic and activity this has created. Now, I want to be clear here. This dormant whale transfer wasn't the only reason for the price drop. There were several factors at play. Number 1, natural market correction. After hitting $123,000, Bitcoin was due for a pullback, as we all know, and that's just how markets work. Number 2, the technical factors. There was a CME futures gap that needed to be filled, around 114,400. Number 3, whale activity beyond just our dormant friend. There were significant whales activity on Binance with 1,800 Bitcoin deposited after Bitcoin's peak. But here's what makes this dormant whale transfer so significant. It is psychological. When the market sees that someone who has been holding since 2011 is finally selling, it creates fear. It makes people think, if they are selling after 14 years, maybe I should too. So what does this all mean for you as a Bitcoin holder or someone thinking about getting into Bitcoin or cryptocurrency? First, this shows us that even the longest term holders eventually take profits. This whale held through multiple bear markets, multiple crashes, and finally decided that it was time to cash out some of their position. Secondly, it demonstrates the power that large holders still have over Bitcoin's price. A single whale moving $2.3 billion can create significant market impact. But here's the thing, Bitcoin has recovered from much worse. Remember, we are still trading at levels that would have been unimaginable just a few years ago. A drop from $123,000 to $117,000 is still incredible growth if you zoom out. So there you have it. The Bitcoin price drop on July 15, 2025 was indeed connected to a dormant whale that had been sleeping for 14 years. This whale transferred $2.3 billion worth of Bitcoin to Galaxy Digital, creating sell-side pressure that contributed to the market decline. But there's one thing I want you to remember. This is crypto. Volatility is part of the game. What matters is understanding what's happening behind the scenes so you can make informed decisions. So, what do you think about this whale finally waking up after 14 years? Are you buying this dip, or you are waiting to see what happens next? If you found this analysis helpful, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any of my crypto market breakdowns. I'll be keeping a close eye on this story, and I will update you if there are any new developments. See you on the next one, and as always, stay volatile. Peace.